Ryobi drill press that we use here in the wood shop. It's operated by this big button here on the front. Once I turn on the power and electricity to this wall and plug in the machine, if I were to flip up the switch, that would turn on the drill press. There's also 2 other switches here, and these switches control a light and a laser that can focus on the work that we're doing. Once the machine is on, it's going to spin whatever drill bit I have here in the bottom, and then we're going to use our hand to operate lowering that bit into the wood and raising it out of the wood. So in working with any of our power tools, one of the first things we want to do is be prepared for safety. In working with the drill press, we definitely want to have on our safety glasses. And if we're working with wood that is really dense, it might be a little loud. I don't know if that'll be the case today, but you're always welcome to wear our ear guards to protect your ears when working on any loud equipment. I have longer hair, so I'm going to pull that back as we get ready to talk with the students about tucking their hair back in their shirt or pulling it back behind them so they don't get any loose parts tangled in the machine. Putting on my safety glasses. And then the bit that was left in here that the previous person was working with is a different bit than I would like to use for the project that I'm using. So I've got my box of drill bits here. I have a whole bunch of these around the lab. This container, not all of them have been put away, but you can see there's a hole, and right above the hole it tells you the size of the drill bit. And on the drill bit itself, there will also be a marking right here that shows us the size, and that's a 15/32 drill bit. So it can go back and be stored in its exact space. Really common ones are like you know, like a 1/4 inch drill bit or something like that. So I'm just gonna work with this one today to make that diameter of the hole. To swap out the bit that's already in there, I'm gonna use this key. We always keep the key stored right here on the machine so that we never use it, because that is how we can get the chuck part of the machine looser. So right here I'm just going to put it in so that the grooves match up, and I'm going to carefully just loosen it a couple notches, not that much, and now I should be able to turn it by hand. So I can put the key back even while I'm swapping around bits. These are sharp, so we want to be careful and store those back away with the rest of the drill bits. Put the new one in here, lining it up. I'm going to tighten it by hand, looking to make sure it's straight. Grab the key again, put it here inside the hole, and just give it a couple turns to the right so that it's nice and tight, but not so tight that I couldn't undo it with my own strength later, right? I don't want to leave it so super tight that nobody can undo it. So now my drill bit should be set up with the size drill bit for the hole that I'd like to make in the wood that I'm going to be working with. So I've got a little 3/4 inch scrap piece of wood here to show you how the hole is going to be made. I also picked up a clamp so that the wood can be held to the base of the drill press without me having to actually hold it with my hands. So if I were to drop this all the way down as far as it would go, it wouldn't even get close to where I need it to be to actually connect with my wood and go into or through the wood. So I need to raise the platform up. I'm loosening the back handles here. Wind the platform up. Put my wood on here. Right now, the great feature we have here in the lab is that the power is off. And so I wouldn't accidentally even touch a switch and turn on the machine. Which is how I always want to be working when I'm setting it up. Now I'm checking where this is going to drop. It's dropping too close to the edge of the stage for me. I'm going to move it to make sure that my drill bit hits in the center of the stage instead of hitting the stage itself. This is made out of metal, make a super loud noise. It would also make a dent in the metal. It's bad for the drill bit. That can cause an injury or break a drill bit. Raise it up just a little more. That looks good. And now that it's perfectly centered, I'm going to lock it into place. Putting my wood on now. If I were doing this for a project, I would have marked where I want that hole to be in advance. Those students will come in and say, I'd like a hole on this piece of wood, and I'll ask them to mark it with a little pencil mark so we make sure that we get that hole exactly where they want. And I'm just clamping this up to the block so that I don't have to hold this with my hands. Even though I could do that safely, I don't want to show you today with my hands on the actual piece of wood. So here in the Innovation Lab, we have a separate teacher-controlled switch that controls the power to all of our power tools. So I've just turned on the electricity, which now will allow me to turn on the machine. But first, I do have a vacuum set up back here. Each one of our machines has a vacuum tube behind it that will help sort of pull up some of the sawdust. So you'll notice it's going to get a little louder as I turn on my vacuum that pulls up the sawdust from the drill press and its next door neighbor, my bandsaw. So I'm checking with my red laser where this is going to go, and my light. You don't really need to use the light in here, but it's a great feature if you're working with your drill press in a darker room or a garage. You do have a light that can kind of shine down on your work surface. And then this is the switch that's going to turn on the machine. When I flick this switch, the drill bit is going to begin spinning. This whole unit spins all the way down to the bit. It is going to get a little warm. It's not something that I would want to touch with my bare hands just after I've turned it off. And I'm going to remind students to avoid putting hands, hair, shirt sleeves, or anything anywhere inside this area where the drill bit is spinning. I'm going to turn it on. You can see how the bit started spinning, and then we're going to drop our drill bit down into our piece of wood. All the way through, and back up. I started to see some sawdust come out of the bottom of the wood, which indicated to me that I made it all the way through. Sometimes there will also be a small difference in sound or a little bit of like a pop noise that you might hear as the bit goes all the way through the piece of wood. Undo my clamp. I usually tap this right into a trash can, but I didn't bring one over. You can see I've got a hole that goes all the way through the wood. Close up. You can see now the red X is making a point where the drill bit is going to go into the wood. So as long as that's a space that I'm okay with it going through, that's exactly where I want it to go. I controlled the red X with this switch up here that turns on the laser and the light beam if needed. And then the machine itself is controlled by this button, and I'll just flip up to turn on the drill bit, and I lower the handle in carefully. We don't want to just like let go. We want to carefully help raise the bit back up with our hands so that it doesn't sort of pop back up and sometimes lift our wood with it, even though I've got this clamped down pretty well. Okay, turning on the machine. And then I'm going to lower it down into the wood. All good, waited for it to stop spinning. Release the clamp. And you can see my new hole. Nice. Cleanup for the drill press and all the power tools on the bench. We are fortunate enough that we have this awesome vacuum. I call this our car wash vacuum that's installed right here in the vacuum ventilation system of the lab to vacuum up any dust that's on the platform, the base of my drill press, and around my machine. Every person who works in the lab is responsible for cleaning up 100% of their mess or the things that they use for the activity, and then always taking a look around and doing another check to see if there's anything else they can do. Like I might check a neighbor machine and vacuuming it off a little bit while I'm over here already. It's part of what we call resetting the space. We make sure we put everything back where we got it, and we also look around to see what else we can maybe tidy up a bit, as this is shared by the entire school.